Today, let's take our marker print and turn it into a happy owl. Okay, so I've got a black piece of paper, but you could use blue if you don't really want it to be a nighttime sky. But I'm going to use black here, and I'm going to write my name on the back. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a tree that we are going to have our owl perched on. So I've got some brown paper here. You could grab whatever shade of brown you want. I just have this medium shade of brown. You can mix different pieces of brown paper together. But what you're going to do is you're going to rip your brown piece of paper into lots of little pieces. These pieces are going to become our tree. So I might have some big pieces, some long pieces, some short pieces, and then I'm going to play with them on my paper and arrange them so that I have a pretty large branch for my owl to sit on towards the middle bottom area. And then I can add my smaller pieces to add branches that are coming out and off of that one branch. So if you look out at a tree outside, you'll notice that it's got these arms that are the branches, but even on those branches, there are other small branches growing out from those. So again, it's best to start with a bigger piece first. And remember, this is the one that your owl is going to be sitting on. Then you can take some smaller pieces and adjust them as necessary to add your smaller branches coming out. Okay, once you have those pieces glued down, go ahead and flip it over to give it a nice massage to make sure all of those pieces are nice and stuck, making sure you have enough glue on the underside of each piece so that it doesn't fall off later. Let's go ahead and grab another piece of brown paper, and we're going to add a part of the trunk that is vertical on the side of our branch. So I'm going to go ahead and rip it and then measure it so that it kind of fits all the way up the side of my paper, like the side of a tree trunk. So go ahead and add some glue on the edge and then place that vertical tree trunk on. See all that extra brown sticking out of the side? I'm going to go ahead, once I have it nice and glued on, I'm going to go ahead and cut that off and let my neighbor use it if they need it. But now when I flip this over, I will have a nice tree trunk that is kind of cropped off the side of my paper because you can't see the whole thing. Okay, I'm ready to add some more details. A couple things we can do is we can add some texture and we can add some leaves. To add texture, you're going to take some oil pastels or color sticks and you're going to hold them sideways. So you might have to rip off some of the wrapper if there's a wrapper on it, and you're not going to be drawing as much as you're going to be rubbing. So hold it sideways just like this and rub it. I've got a gold here that looks really cool, but you could do this with brown, white, or even black. And I'm just rubbing it right on top of my brown pieces of paper, and it's adding some interesting texture. The next thing I'm doing is I'm cutting out the rectangular shape of my marker print so that I can see how big my owl is going to be on my tree branch. We're going to design the owl next time, so don't even worry about making it look like an owl right now. We're worried about our background today. But I'm going to go ahead and cut that out and glue it down just so I can kind of see where my owl is going to be on my paper and plan it out. The second thing we're going to do to make it more like an owl today is we're going to cut the corners. So we're going to find each corner and turn our scissors sideways to make a diagonal. Now hold on, make sure you're not cutting off big triangles. You should be cutting off little baby triangles because you want to see as much of this beautiful pattern that we made with our marker as possible. You don't want to cut off like half of your owl body and have a teeny tiny little square. All right, so now I can glue this down so I kind of know that this is where my owl is going to be. Now let's add a moon or a sun. I could trace a circle, but in this case, I want a really big moon. So I'm just going to draw a nice big circle and then cut it out. Put your paper in the very bottom of the opening of your scissors and then squeeze and turn all the way around to make your curved cuts. Next, let's go ahead and glue that down and then glue our owl body down. You can also take your oil pastels and draw in some details, like maybe some waving lines through the texture of the bark of your tree. So that is way more interesting. Okay, now I've got all of these different shades of green that I'm going to use. Dark green, light green, medium green, and I'm going to cut out some leaf shapes. Kind of like an eye shape or a football shape. And glue those all over near the edges of your branches. So think about which branches might have some leaves sticking out. You can even add the veins of your leaves with a colored pencil, or in my case, I'm using a green oil pastel. You can also use crayon for this. So I'm drawing a line that goes through to one point to the other point, and then I'm adding lines as well. You don't have to do this. This is just an option if you would like to have a little bit more detail. Let's go ahead and stop here because this has taken a lot of time. We have gotten so much done today. And next time I see you, we'll turn this owl into a beautiful finished owl with eyes and wings and a beak. And we'll also add some beautiful stars. I can't wait, and I'll see you next time. Love, your cozy art teacher.